I ran some numbers there's a list of 10 salesmen, and again, Nissan, because I'm over here a lot more than the other side, has heard many of this stuff. But there's basically 10 salesmen that utilize the Tier 4 platform, you know, the Facebook ads, the websites, easy referral you all should be using at a point before a good portion of the year. This number actually blew me away. Of the 10 salesmen, and just as an FYI, I included Sonny and Karen as 2, so, you know, in all fairness, the average salesperson of these 10, including your incentive monies, earned about $90,000 last year. That's the average. So obviously some made less, some made significantly more. That number in the automobile industry, I mean, we have 17 salesmen now. We didn't have 17 all year. For that many sales, this is actually double what NADA average is. The other thing that's very exciting to me is of these same salesmen, these same salesmen had a 56% pay increase, average, earned. I didn't even know pay increase. You earned 56% more this year than last year. So that means these people last year basically earned 60 on average, and this year they earn 90 on average. Folks, those are incredible numbers. Now, yes, I know, you know, there's a lot of things that go into why did I make more money this year than last year. But there is no doubt that you marketing yourself and you promoting yourself, obviously management stability, and actually it was consistent in both. I mean, we had no management changes last year in the Kia showroom. But for me as a dealer, this is exciting because I can keep and retain a very quality employee, and I can expect a lot from a person that averages $90,000 a year. I mean, that's a significant, I think that's a pretty good, I know it's a very good number, and I know I can attract and retain and keep quality people. We've had 2 other people try to emulate what Sonny and Karen have done as far as adding an assistant, which they basically pay for the bulk of the assistant this year. Again, because it's worked out in spades for both Karen and Sonny this year by having 2 people work together that sort of strengthened or matched each other's talents, you know, in all the areas. So again, the Tier 4, obviously we're talking about the Easy Referral Network. We're talking about the websites. And we're talking about, for now, it's the Facebook ads. And Facebook may be the flavor of the month now, but I am committed to constantly coming up with other things that are going to allow you as the salesperson. I'm going to keep coming up with things for you as the salesperson. This is the dealer up here, and you're the salesperson here, and you have these basically avenues to market yourself. Oh, actually, the one that I have nothing to do with is the social media. You know, some of you are very good here. I would say Sonny and Karen are absolutely the best over here with using Easy Referral as a constant way of generating business. Again, on the Facebook or the social media side, Melissa is one of the stronger ones. But again, Mark did very well this month in engagement, but he hired, you know, we started with an assistant that's helping you do it. So it was I would say it was a weak spot for you, not something you felt comfortable with. And Audrey, if you wouldn't mind as I talk, because other dealers don't know that these are real people that I'm talking about. So this is Mark, who doesn't do Facebook well.
Just wait a second. All right.
And this is Michaela, who does everything well. But,
Try to block Brian out of that shot.
no, but the fact of the matter is, Mark, you know, that was not his strength. So that was his avenue to try to do. But certainly Melissa was very good and has been consistently very good at networking herself on her social media. So anyway, the combination of all of this, as I've told you before, has generated, you know, really our sales last year were up 35%, and the grosses overall were up 35%, and I spent no additional money in advertising. So no one in this room is going to convince me that this isn't the way to go. And I'll be honest with you, Manny's the only one, the reason Manny's name's on the board, all kidding aside, not busting chops, but Manny's the only one that, you know, really doesn't have any of these things but still did well. So I'm not saying you need to do this, that's the only way you're gonna make money, you know, but Mike feeds Manny, but there's other things that go along with it. I'm only kidding, you know that doesn't happen. The fact of the matter is, I'm not saying you cannot be a success without utilizing some of these tools, but the only thing I'm saying is the numbers don't lie. This is basically almost a full year's worth of data, and you know, the numbers don't lie. The odds are with you if you start promoting yourself. You know, and some people had no lift that had this, because you know, seriously, because I don't think they really embraced it. You had it, but you just didn't embrace it and really try to make it part of what your deal is. So now we have 14 of 17 salesmen, because we've had 4 recently jump on. And I think it's important though that you know, if you're a salesman, and again, we're seeing it now. November wasn't the barn burner. We were only up 10%. Versus the other numbers we've been up as high as 50%. You know, and like I said, I always try other stuff. This isn't the only thing we do marketing, but there's no doubt in my mind this has been the most cost-effective way of marketing. And for you specifically, it is definitely the most cost-effective way of marketing, because you've never had this kind of marketing for yourself individually. So this is free social media. Learning how to utilize Facebook, your Instagrams, what else would fall in the social media umbrella? YouTube, Twitter. Yeah, I mean, any of these things are all promoting, you know, these are all free. These we pay for. Now I'm going to talk about the Facebook ads in a minute, obviously the websites you have. So easy referral, and I'm going to bust. For those of you at home, Audra is the one that's behind the camera. I'm going to bust Audra's chops, because I went to a restaurant 2 nights ago, and the waitress was telling me how thrilled she was, or the bartender was telling me how thrilled she was with the dealership. She bought a car from us. She was referred to us from a friend of hers to Audra. Audra was wonderful. Wonderful. And you know what? I have my cousin wants to buy a car. I'm going to refer her over to Audra. I said, oh good, did she show you how easy referral? Oh no, I was going to say yeah. So I signed her up. So I'm going to get the $200 referral fee, Mike. That's fair, right? That works. I put the referral in, I'm going to get it. But the point is, you know, this is like a no-brainer. Audra, can you turn the camera on yourself? No, Audra won't turn the camera on herself. I grab it from her. Seriously, you have a satisfied customer, a referral from a satisfied customer who is also satisfied, who happens to be a bartender, not to be asked to refer your friends and neighbors. That just means it's not in your, it means it's not in your mindset 100% of the time. It's got to be in your mindset 100% of the time, and in your DNA, that everyone you talk to knows what you do, and you invite, would you mind sending me your friends and neighbors that are interested in the car? This is a pretty easy one, guys. We've been doing this for a while. And as I said, Sonny and Karen are the best on it. The websites. All right, I'm going to get into a few things that are good and bad. I'm just going to use, and I'm going to let you know, those of you that are very active, I'm going to use Mark and Melissa as two that, and Gavin, actually, we do spend a little bit more money on those three. I will spend more money on any of you that are actively involved in what you do. And who decides that is Brian and Ann. If they have to chase you down for information, forget about it. I'm not gonna, look, you're not putting the time, energy, or effort in. They don't have time to chase you down to try to help you. You should be the one that are either so busy that you don't need any additional help, or you should be the one seeking help on how to promote and market yourself, and most of the time, they're available to you. So I do spend more money on those that want to help themselves. And again, in my world, if I'm spending $100, if I have my dealer money, which is that tier $3, and I spend, $100 on you at tier 4, I'm just taking 100 out of here somewhere and I'm adding the 100 over here. So my net sum is 0. I'm not spending more, I'm just spending it differently. But I am willing to spend more for those that want to get engaged. I mean, really engaged, beyond what the initial conversations were. So, Mark and Melissa, and I'm going to talk about credit in a minute again. But Mark and Melissa specifically, we had separate credit ads for. Credit Facebook ads. If you need help with your credit, click here. Between the two of them, we got 1,500 people visit that website. I mean, that 1,500 clicked on that message. 1,500 people last month clicked on that message that I have some credit concerns, I'd like to, have more information. All right, that's the good news. The bad news is, we only got like 10 people actually submit applications. But for me, the message resonated, but the offer or whatever we put next didn't resonate, because this should have been a higher number. But that's not the initial message resonated, so that's what we have to work on. Where we're sending it, what message we came up with. Submit an application online, we'll give you a $25 gas card, and if we end up delivering you a car, we're going to make your first month's payment. So, we're coming up with something to increase, this 1,500 to 50 to 100. I mean, this costs me nothing to generate the 1,500 eyeballs, but now I have to increase the engagement. And that's more of a marketing tool in Facebook than it is more of a marketing tool than it is an effort tool on your part. All right, so again, message to you folks, to those of you that are very actively involved, I'm willing to spend more to promote you. I don't know what else I can say or do, but it's there for you for the grabbing. But it's got to be consistent. The other thing that's happening, we just did an analysis of a dealer, that signed on the program, and he actually had one salesman last month get 700 visitors to his website. First month on the program. Actually, that's pretty good. The dealer's disappointed, the salesman's disappointed. I don't know if he was expecting to get 700 leads, but that's not the way it works. The first thing is eyeballs, and the next thing is engagement. So he actually has a great vanity name, a great brand name. I forget what the heck it is.
Tracy treats you right.
Tracy treats you right. That's his nice, he's got a great vanity name, great brand name. TracyTreatsYouRight.com is his brand at the dealership. It was nowhere on the website. So what's the sense of having the vanity URL if you're not promoting your brand on top of it? You know, there was no pictures of Tracy treating anybody right. No, seriously. I mean, if you're going to go down the road, go down the road. You know, if you're as easy as apple pie, then you should have pictures with people getting a friggin' apple pie and put some friggin' ice cream on top. Yeah, that's Mark. He's as easy as business as apple pie, whatever the heck it is. But the fact of the matter is, whatever the shtick is that you're going for, A, it has to really be you. You can't fake something. But B, you got to take it all the way through. So your websites, and this is where, again, I can't have Brian, we have almost 100 salesmen now with websites, you know, various places. You know, you are your business. You have to analyze your website, and you have to say, what is making my website more attractive to the average amongst all of you, not counting the secondary stuff, is 500. Average, 500, and some of you had just started on this, but the average was 500 people looked at your website. But you have to make those 500 people excited about looking at your website. So what can you do?
You guys can do, first of all, you gotta analyze yourselves. I don't know what you guys are into, what you have connections with or affiliations with, whether it's sporting activity, stuff outside of work. Anything you could form a connection with your visitors is what really one of your goals should be. You gotta make it personal. Like most of these sites we put up and they're just sterile, they're just there. Anybody can come to me, and some of you do, and we'll make the changes, the additions on a regular basis, but you really want to project some of your personality through the site. Like, we're driving the people to the site, but you kind of have to make it yours and give them a reason to reach out to you. It's really what one of the goals should be.
Stuff that, okay, seriously, let's talk about it. Say you're a huge Jets fan, huge Giants fan. You have something on there about that. You'd be attracted, you know, somebody who's a Giants fan is going to be that, or a Yankees fan. That could be something that you sort of have in there. Say your thing is, again, if you specialized, you know, we're not a truck dealer, but, you know, say you were one of the guys that specialized in the K100, K900, you could have something, you know, about that. But it's really, I mean, there's a million things. It's limitless. Like, again, the girls have the females, the women selling cars, the women. If you're ex-military, I don't know.
And to boot, we have the online chat on most of the sites. And again, anybody wants to learn how to use it again, if you haven't used it, if you're getting 500 to, Mark had over 1,000 visitors to his site throughout the month. You just leave it open on your screen. It'll alert you if you sit on. I'll set it up with you guys on your phone. If somebody get a visitor to your site, you're going to get an alert on your phone. You can be proactive and hit them up and via chat and see if there's something you can help them with or what they need. There's all different opportunities, but with over 1,000 people a month looking at your site, sooner the odds are you will hit somebody on chat that will be able to convince them to come in.
You guys remember last year I was getting about 11,000 people to my total websites, my whole dealership including all the websites. Now I'm getting about 10,000 to your websites, and I'm getting about 20,000 to mine, without spending any more money. So basically what I'm saying, you collectively are as powerful individually as I was last year as a dealership. But, I can't look at your websites. You have to look at them. What do I have to do to make them cool? The easy things, to be honest with you, is make it be you, personalize it. Whatever your hobbies are, whatever your interests are, really personalize it. But the ongoing stuff has to be updated pictures. If someone's gonna think,
well, the biggest thing you guys can do are the testimonials, video testimonials are gold. If you guys can get them with your customers, great. And you can call me on my cell phone. If you guys have a delivery, this customer's willing to go on video, there's not much I'm doing that I
But
can't drop.
I'll be honest with you, I would rather you have each other help each other out. If you're all busy, that's one thing.